This how they get you. They get one or two people to say something. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. Ain't gonna be no real nothing. It's gonna be a repeated thug. It's gonna be a bunch of people in jail for a bunch of different crimes that don't have nothing to do with me. They finna lump all of us up that say it's all over on the 60s. Watch and see. We just seen it with Thug. I'm finna experience the same thing on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character. All right, man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided?
BigU had Nipsey Hussle killed, nigga. Everybody know that.
Wait. You get a call from BigU telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone. 3 minutes after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed. So you think he hit you?
Welcome to the Gossip Channel. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We're growing with you and because of you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Once we hit that milestone, a special prize will be waiting for you. Stay tuned. And now, let's get into the topic. Everybody in the street's been whispering that BigU had a hand in Nipsey's death. But now, a hidden camera clip just popped up, and it's flipping the whole story upside down. This footage is making folks rewatch BigU's so-called confession with brand new eyes, and the streets are buzzing with suspicion. Let's break it down. When Ermias Joseph Asghedom, the world knew him as Nipsey Hussle, was gunned down right outside his own store, hip-hop didn't just lose a rapper, they lost a visionary. A leader who was building up South Central brick by brick. At just 33, Nipsey pulled off the impossible, moving from the block to legit business owner while never turning his back on the neighborhood that raised him. But here's where the story twists, and the so-called official version starts cracking wide open. Cops say Eric R. Holder Jr. was nailed for first-degree murder in July 2022, handed a crushing 60-to-life sentence. Prosecutors painted it clean, premeditated, personal beef, sparked by Nipsey, allegedly calling him a snitch. Sounds tied up, right? Wrong. That day wasn't supposed to be chaos. Nipsey was just outside his store. No heavy security, no bodyguards. He was vibing with the people, signing autographs, flicking up in photos, talking with the same fans and homies he always looked out for. That's when the calm turned deadly. Around 3:04 p.m., Eric Holder pulled up to the strip mall with a woman he was seeing. And from that moment on, nothing would ever be the same. What followed flipped lives upside down and lit the match for conspiracy theories still burning today. Witnesses, including Herman Cowboy Douglas, a former gang member and close store worker, say Nipsey casually brought up whispers that Holder was labeled a snitch, telling him he should clear it up and move careful. The vibe wasn't tense, no shouting, no threats, just straight advice from one neighborhood man to another. Nipsey wasn't pressing him, he was guiding him. But then, the turn that makes no sense if this was only about a petty street rumor. What came next blew apart the idea of a simple dispute. After that talk, Holder played it cool, grabbing chili cheese fries from a burger spot like nothing was brewing. But then, he slid back to his girl's car, told her to move it into the next lot, and when he came back, he wasn't empty-handed. He was strapped with a semi-automatic and a revolver. This wasn't rage in the moment, this was cold, calculated, and vicious. Holder walked up on Nipsey and the group with him, blasting away, hitting him at least 10 times. The autopsy later showed 11 bullets tore through Nip, head, chest, back, stomach, thighs, even down to his toe and elbow. As Nipsey collapsed, gasping, "You got me!" Holder allegedly kicked him in the head before making his getaway. 2 bystanders caught bullets too, but they lived. Still, the sheer brutality left even the toughest street vets shaken. This didn't feel like some random beef. This looked like an execution. Way too vicious for the so-called slight that was mentioned. Nipsey was pronounced gone at 3:55 p.m., just 35 minutes after the shots rang out. The Marathon store, once a beacon of hope and growth for the block, was now wrapped in yellow tape, stained as a crime scene that scarred South LA forever. But even as cops claimed they had their man, doubts spread fast. How does a laid-back talk about rumors flip into a merciless ambush like this? Why would anyone throw their whole life away over what sounded like simple advice? And the bigger question, who actually gained from Nipsey Hussle's death? Surveillance from the block became the key piece of evidence, but it also opened more doors than it closed. LAPD scooped up footage from every angle. The Marathon store and nearby spots all handed over tapes. Yeah, the videos pinned Eric Holder as the triggerman, but they also showed something eerie. The cold, calculated way he moved, almost like it was rehearsed. And then comes the wild twist. In March 2025, Eugene Big U Henley got popped on federal RICO charges. That arrest shook the hip-hop world to its core and instantly reignited whispers that Nipsey's murder wasn't just street beef, but tied to something way bigger. Those new federal charges don't tie Big U directly to Nipsey's murder, but they cracked open a Pandora's box of rumors and theories the streets won't let die. Big U, real name Eugene Henley, ain't just some music exec. He's allegedly a shot caller for the Rollin' 60s Crips and once managed Nipsey himself. Their bond was messy. Part business, part street loyalty, part power play in South LA. Big U had a hand in shaping Nipsey's early come-up, even giving him recording space at his own family's house. But here's the shady part. Yeah, they shared ties through the set and through music, but under the surface, that connection wasn't nearly as solid as it looked. The bond between Nipsey and Big U was messy, and the streets never stopped bringing up one wild incident that allegedly went down in a parking lot. Big U, Nipsey, and his brother Black Sam all got into it. And according to whispers online, things got so heated that Black Sam allegedly let off a shot just to stop Big U from putting hands on Nipsey and even their father. That kind of smoke doesn't just fade away, it fuels speculation to this day. See, this wasn't just rap or business moves. It was all about power, respect, and control in a world where those three things are life or death. And the ties ran deep. Nipsey's daughter's mother, she's Big U's niece. That made it personal. And some say Nipsey clashed with Big U over the environments his daughter was around. Another layer of tension in a relationship already built on fragile ground. What makes these new twists so explosive is the way they shine a harsh light on the power games around Nipsey's world. The federal RICO case against Big U is heavy. We're talking murder tied to the 2021 killing of aspiring rapper Rayshawn Williams in Vegas, plus extortion, human trafficking, and fraud. These aren't just random charges. They paint the picture of a full-blown criminal empire, moving slick under the radar for years while hiding behind legit businesses. And in that Vegas case, feds say Henley even scrubbed studio security footage to erase the evidence, showing he knew exactly how to dance around surveillance eyes. This part hits hard because it shows a pattern, someone who allegedly mastered the art of controlling the story and wiping away evidence. And it sparks the question, did the same playbook get used on Nipsey? The timing of these bombshells rattled the hip-hop community to its core. Everybody thought the case was wrapped with Holder locked up for life, but now new doubts creep in. Did we ever really hear the full truth? Rapper SKG even came out pointing fingers at Big U, accusing him of being tied to Nipsey's death after that 2025 RICO bust. Sure, SKG's claims don't come with hard proof, but they struck a nerve with fans who never trusted the official version to begin with. And the darkest part? This saga exposes just how dangerous the cycle of power, politics, and survival is for young black men in places like South Central. Nipsey knew the dangers firsthand, and that's why he spent his life fighting to build exits from the cycle of street violence and crime that swallowed so many of his peers. His death wasn't just a personal loss, it felt like proof of a system built to crush anyone who tried to rise above it. And the conspiracy talk, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's fueled by decades of distrust in official stories, especially when black icons end up dead under suspicious circumstances. With Nipsey, theories spun fast. Some say it was an inside move. Others whisper about government ties, even linking it to Dr. Sebi's name, the same holistic healer Nipsey was about to spotlight in a documentary before his murder. From the Sebi documentary to whispers of industry betrayal or even a COINTELPRO-style comeback, the theories are wild, but they speak to real fears. People know the system has a history of targeting black leaders who dare to challenge the status quo. And as we dig deeper into this tangled mess of alliances, beefs, and unanswered questions, we can't lose sight of who sits at the center of it all, a man fighting to uplift his people. Nipsey Hussle wasn't flawless, but he was authentic. He put his heart into breaking deadly cycles and opening doors for the next generation. His death ripped away not just an artist, but a visionary who knew that lasting change had to grow from inside the neighborhood, not from outside forces. And now we're left staring at a web of alleged betrayal, with BigU's name rising and crashing in the middle of it all. To really grasp how deep this goes, you gotta look at the federal case that dragged BigU back under the spotlight. In March 2025, he was snatched up on RICO charges, accused of running a full-on mafia-style empire through his nonprofit, Developing Options, all while allegedly flexing ties to the rolling 60s. And the accusations? Wild. We're talking murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud, a blueprint of a criminal machine that moved bold and untouchable for years. But cracks started showing once investigators peeled back the clean image and saw what was hiding underneath. Before turning himself in, BigU even dropped a string of videos, giving the world a peek into his head, his mindset, his excuses, and his own spin on what really went down. Those videos hit like both a defense and a confession, exposing a man who knew the walls were closing in and was scrambling to spin the story his way. What made it shocking was the raw honesty. BigU straight up admitted he allegedly used his nonprofit as a front, but then tried to clean it up by saying he never stole from it. That kind of talk screams doublespeak, the kind you hear from someone who's danced so long in the gray zone between legal and illegal that the line doesn't even exist anymore. The fact that BigU could casually admit something like that shows either sky-high confidence in his legal shield, or a total blind spot to how ruthless federal prosecutors really move. And when you connect that mindset to Nipsey, their history gets even messier. BigU wasn't just some manager on the sidelines. He was instrumental in Nipsey's early grind, giving him studio space inside his own family home and even letting Nipsey live under his roof during those come-up years. That bond wasn't just business, it was personal, almost family. But once Nipsey's star started shining, things shifted fast. The money, the fame, the industry doors opening, it changed the whole dynamic. And in the streets, that kind of success always comes with shadows attached. That climb to independence always creates friction. Old loyalties clash with new opportunities, and Nipsey's vision for his people didn't always line up with the interests of those who once backed him. Now, the federal indictment on BigU lays out disturbing claims about his criminal empire, but it's the alleged pattern that jumps out most. In the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams, Henley allegedly wiped studio security tapes clean, showing he knew exactly how to outsmart surveillance eyes. That kind of cold calculation screams a man skilled at bending reality, flipping the story, erasing the evidence, and keeping control of the narrative. And here's the real kicker. The feds might focus on crimes after 2021, but a mindset like that doesn't just appear overnight. It raises the chilling question, were those same methods already in play back when Nipsey was taken out? This was a man who'd allegedly been moving in the shadows for years, using legit businesses as a cover to wash money and keep up a polished image, all while allegedly pulling strings of violence and exploitation behind the curtain. What this really shows is BigU's awareness. He isn't just fighting charges for a few slip-ups. He's being painted as the alleged mastermind, the shot caller at the top of a full-blown criminal empire. Federal RICO cases aren't built to just lock up one man. They're made to crush entire empires. And the fact that BigU himself seemed to recognize this shows he knew exactly how wide the net was over what he was allegedly running. But the accusations against him don't just stop at street moves. They rip the lid off the darker ecosystem of violence and exploitation tangled up with parts of the music industry. These charges include human trafficking, pointing to a chilling level of alleged criminality way beyond block beefs or drug hustles. This isn't about turf wars, it's about systematic exploitation of the vulnerable, turning people into profit streams. And the scariest part, BigU allegedly pulled this off while standing in the community as a respected figure, using that role like a shield to cover the dirt underneath. By running a nonprofit and building music industry ties, BigU allegedly crafted the perfect mask, a public image of a man giving back to his community. But behind that smile, the whispers say he lived a double life. Community leader by day, alleged crime boss by night. That kind of setup is dangerous because it lets predators move unchecked, hiding behind trust while preying on the very people who believed in them. The federal indictment doesn't hold back. It paints the picture of an outfit running with reckless boldness. The accusations stretch from murder to fraud, with BigU's alleged empire using clean businesses as camouflage while spreading fear and control in the shadows. This wasn't some petty hustle. This was alleged organized crime running on a scale that rivals the mob itself. And what makes it even more telling is how BigU openly shows he knows the feds are building their case. He even points to the Young Thug and YSL prosecution, where prosecutors pulled rap lyrics, social media, and gang ties to paint the picture of a criminal empire. BigU knows the same playbook could be used on him. And you can feel the frustration boiling in his words, but the timing of his arrest, that's what set the streets on fire again, sparking fresh speculation about how deep his alleged ties to Nipsey really went. SKG hasn't held back at all, blasting BigU as an abusive monster who allegedly exploited people and used fear to keep control. She even claims he orchestrated attacks against her, including one brutal incident at Nipsey's store while she was pregnant. None of this has been proven in court, but the accusations alone paint a chilling picture of a man who allegedly weaponized violence and intimidation like tools in his kit. And now, as we get ready to dig into the final piece of this saga, the conspiracy theories and alleged cover-ups tied to Nipsey's death, it's clear BigU's arrest flipped the script completely. What once looked like a closed case with one shooter locked up now feels like part of a much bigger web of crime, corruption, hidden truths, and the dangerous cost of speaking out. One of the loudest theories ties straight to Nipsey's plan to drop a documentary on Dr. Sebi, the Honduran herbalist who claimed he could cure deadly diseases like AIDS and cancer with nothing but an alkaline diet and natural remedies. The streets say Nipsey was silenced, assassinated by the government, Big Pharma, or even the Illuminati, all to shut down that project before it could shine a light. No hard proof has ever surfaced, but the theory exploded online, racking up millions of views under titles like "Why the Illuminati Killed Nipsey Hussle." And maybe the scariest part isn't the theory itself. It's the alleged systematic effort to smear, silence, and bury anyone daring to question the official story behind his death.
He's gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you niggas in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with WAC. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is. That's what the whole, how they there with the police. And y'all sitting there following him. Everybody that's a part of them shows, them 100 shows, all them shows, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything. Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. And y'all show ain't for our people. 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me.
BigU's own videos before turning himself in gave a wild glimpse into his mindset. He claimed there was an alleged coordinated plan to tear down his name and wipe out his power in the community. He even said, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. If true, that's a bombshell, suggesting a joint effort between law enforcement and industry players to crush him long before the charges hit. The idea that federal agents would allegedly move to starve someone out financially and socially before locking them up points to something deeper than justice. It hints at a personal vendetta, and that's chilling. BigU's talk about community work sounds hollow when stacked against the mountain of charges, but his claims tap into a bigger pattern, the way federal law enforcement has historically been accused of targeting black leaders and organizations. Look back at the FBI's COINTELPRO program. It allegedly worked to dismantle civil rights leaders, the Black Panthers, and other activists, planting a legacy of distrust that still lingers. And that's why so many people find these theories around Nipsey compelling. He wasn't like other stars who cut ties once they blew up. Nipsey stayed rooted in South Central, living in the same world he was trying to rebuild. Nipsey's moves in Crenshaw, from owning the Marathon store to launching anti-gang programs, turned him into a true beacon of hope. And here's the twist. He was set to meet with LAPD Chief Michael Moore and Rock Nation on April 1st, 2019, just one day after he was murdered, to talk about stopping gang violence in South LA. That timing lit the fuse for speculation. Was Nipsey targeted because of his peace mission? Some believe the LAPD or even the FBI didn't want him bridging that gap, and that's why he was taken out. No solid evidence backs that claim, but the timing is suspicious to say the least. And the most chilling part? These conspiracy theories often end up hijacking the conversation, pulling eyes away from the real battles Nipsey was fighting to win for his community. The Atlantic pointed out that these wild theories can actually distract from the real crisis, why so many young black men end up victims of violence in the first place, with roots in broken schools, lack of opportunity, and systemic neglect. But in today's world, the role of social media in twisting and amplifying these stories can't be ignored. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram have turned into rumor factories, pumping out speculation with no accountability. Clips with flashy titles like BigU didn't know he was being filmed admitting to Nipsey Hussle murder rack up millions of views, even though they carry zero evidence of any such confession. BigU's own words spotlight another shady angle: the alleged role of social media influencers and podcasters who somehow always seem to know too much. The fact that folks were online talking about police raids before they even happened, that's either spooky level guesswork or access to information that makes you question the integrity of the whole investigation. And it doesn't stop there. The way certain media personalities allegedly piled on BigU shows how easy it is to dress up personal vendettas as community activism, blurring the line between truth-telling and straight-up character assassination. The claim that media figures might be working hand-in-hand with law enforcement is explosive because, if true, it points to a dangerous level of coordination between entertainment, media, and the police. Imagine entire social campaigns being weaponized to set people up, giving cover for raids and arrests. That's a chilling glimpse at how modern investigations might really be run. But the biggest question still hangs in the air. What truly happened to Nipsey Hussle? And why does the official story reduce his death to a simple street beef over snitching rumors, when so many signs suggest something far more complex and calculated? Sure, the official story may be technically accurate, but it leaves out the bigger picture of power plays, business beefs, and community tensions that set the stage for bloodshed. The way Nipsey was taken out, shot 11 times, and then allegedly kicked in the head, screams something way deeper than a petty argument. That wasn't random violence. It looked like an execution meant to send a message. The real question is, whose message was it, and what exactly were they trying to say? Even the surveillance footage raises eyebrows. Yeah, LAPD used it to nail Holder, but those same tapes also reveal just how cold, calm, and calculated the attack really was. This wasn't some heat-of-the-moment blow-up. This was allegedly planned, carried out with precision like a hit. No proof backs those claims, but the fact they exist shows the deep mistrust around how power allegedly moves in the music industry. Because Nipsey's death was never just about one man being lost. It symbolized a war between two forces, those who allegedly exploit communities for profit and those fighting to build them from the ground up. The conspiracy theories may lack receipts, but they echo real fears about exploitation, about silenced leaders, and about the danger of standing up to systems that don't want change. This last statement from BigU might be the most telling, because it hints his downfall isn't just about justice, it's allegedly about control. The idea that removing one man opens the door for someone easier to manage screams manipulation at the highest levels, a type of power play that stretches way beyond normal law enforcement. And that's the heart of it. The truth behind Nipsey Hussle's murder may never be fully uncovered, but the questions it sparked refuse to die. They force us to face ugly realities about alleged power, violence, and the cost of speaking out in places where silence is often the only safe move. Whether Eric Holder really acted alone or was just a pawn in something bigger might not matter as much as the system that made Nipsey's death possible in the first place. The recent arrest of BigU might give us some answers, but it's just as likely to spark even more questions about the alleged web of loyalty, betrayal, and shadow moves that shaped Nipsey's world. As federal prosecutors build their case, we may finally see the full picture of the alleged empire that lurked in South LA's shadows. But let's be real, even if justice comes, it won't bring back the visionary who believed in something better and paid the ultimate price for it. His story lives on as a warning and as inspiration. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Gossip for more truth, more drama, and more stories they don't want you to hear.